Gentlemen, welcome. So good to see you all gathered here again. It's been, quite the journey lately, hasn't it? But before we get into it, let's take a moment to acknowledge what a feat it is to get everyone here week after week. Thank you all for showing up and being part of this delightful, chaotic little world.
Good to be here, Jeff. Always nice to settle in after, narrowly escaping death week after week.
Well, let's not forget who's actually leading us through these escapes. Hint, it's the golden voice of victory and vision right here.
Yeah, Donnie. And I'm sure you'd be the first to remind us over and over again. Anyway, happy to be back, Jeff, even if some folks here don't think I'm MVP material.
Well, Joe, maybe if you spent more time awake and less time wandering off into the grass, people would vote for ya. Just kidding, buddy. You got the inspiration last week. You did forget in the session, though, so I'm not surprised.
Speaking of MVPs, let's take a moment to talk about that, shall we? Gentlemen, it was a nail-biter this week. The votes were incredibly close. Oh, so evenly dispersed. Many of our viewers even said, and I quote, "They all deserve it." But there could only be one winner, and this time it was Donovan. Congrats, Donnie.
Well, obviously, I killed half bandits myself. Got the only loot that the party managed to grab, and then to top it off, I single-handedly used my amazing spells to charm the boss and get us all out of there to safety. There was really no other choice. And that's 3 wins for me, boys. 3 big, glorious, tremendous wins, while you guys haven't got more than a pathetic 1 win each.
Well, that's not true or fair, Donnie. Firstly, I've won twice.
And with this, you lost the roll-off to yours truly, so it doesn't count as a win.
And secondly, your spell failed. It was only due to Joe using his inspiration selflessly to give you another chance. Plus, the team all working well together and keeping you alive on your 1 hit point.
Wow, sore loser much. But thanks for reminding me. Joey hands over both the MVP title and the presidency to me in 1 big week. That's right, gents, just a few days to my inauguration and then another big league 4 years ahead. You guys should see my bold plans, much more bold and strong than you weak Dems that did nothing. Going to make this country truly great again. First, I'm going to get my people to do the tariffs. Then
Whatever, Donnie, save your presidential announcements for the Twitters and YouTubes or whatever social medias you choose this term. Unlike the rest of us who use the official channels with class.
You, speaking to me about class, don't make me laugh. I'm the classiest here. I have all the money in real estate. That's true class.
It says a lot that you think that's what true class is.
Come on, guys, let's leave it there. We were doing so well at the end of the last session, working as a team to maximize our strengths and cover each other's weaknesses. Let's try to get back to that and get on with the game.
Well said, Taurus. And to all of you, thank you for the effort, the energy, and the laughs. Now, before we dive in, a huge thank you to our fans for voting, commenting, and just being here with us week after week. You keep this little adventure alive. So let's begin. Obama, you haven't done a recap in a few weeks. Why don't you kick it off by telling us where the party finds itself now?
It would be my pleasure. All right, everyone, let's recap where we've been over the last 2 episodes, because frankly, it's been a whirlwind. First, Well, I guess they managed to infiltrate that bandit camp through a gap in the wall under the cover of some long grass. Let's just say our stealth left a little to be desired. Donovan had his usual flair, Taurus dropped his weapon like a bull in a china shop, and Bixby was, Bixby only thinking of food. Despite all that, they got inside, made it to the center tent, and found some loot worth the trouble. But of course, things went sideways. Fast forward to last episode, and we were right in the thick of it. Bandits everywhere, a Goliath charging up the hill, and a draw boss appearing out of thin air to smack Donovan down. It was chaos, pure chaos. Somehow, with a little charm, a little magic, and a lot of swinging swords, we managed to make an escape. But let's be real, it wasn't clean. We're out of the camp now, running for our lives, and the bandits are temporarily sedated by the charm. But I don't imagine it's long until they are back hot on our heels. How long does charm person last for Donovan? An hour? So, no pressure for these opening moments, but we need to be careful. Anyone have a plan? Besides running away, Joey?
What do we need a plan for?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Let's just get out of here for now. I wouldn't mind having another crack at that camp in the future, though. We sure put a dent in it.
First things first, Taurus. They have mounted men of some description. How long can we outrun a horse for? Neither Donovan or I have any magic to fight them with besides cantrips, and health is in short supply too.
Enough yapping, spit out the plan?
Fine, we keep running like this for another hour, enough time to get us far away from the camp and for the spell to wear off and for some angry Duke bandits to come pouring out.
I guess that makes sense, right?
We need to rely on Bixby's training to get as far as we can in this time. We then need to find a place to duck in and hide. At worst, just in the long grass, but maybe we can find a creek bed or some bushes, or if we're lucky, a cave or something towards the edge of the valley with a bit more shelter.
Hey, that makes me sound useful.
I guess that's okay as far as concepts of plans go.
While we rest, we will take a short rest, recovering some hit points, and our marshals may get a few of their abilities back, and we'll go from there.
Sounds like as good a plan as any to me.
Well thought out, Aristos. If that is the way the party wants to go, we will have Bixby roll a survival check.
First roll of the night. Wow, that's good. That's a 12.
A 12 is good?
With a 12, Okay. Now, Bixby, picture this. The party moves carefully through a valley that feels both serene and unnerving. Bixby at the helm, his keen senses guiding them through the labyrinth of tall, overgrown grass that sways gently in the midday breeze. The grass, untouched by grazing animals, stands thick and wild, reaching up over your heads, almost as though the valley itself seeks to engulf you. Dry creeks wind lazily through the terrain, their banks a patchwork of stone and soft earth, and Bixby uses these natural markers to carve out a path northward. His eyes flicker to the shadows cast by the rugged ridges around them, noting their length and direction, while his nose twitches faintly as if catching some unseen scent. The sun is relentless overhead, beating down with an intensity that makes even the shadows feel faint and fleeting. The air is heavy, carrying a faint earthy musk that clings to the grass and soil, mingling with the occasional gust of wind. The valley feels eerily quiet, with no sound of birds or small creatures rustling. Now and then, a slight disturbance can be noticed, a faint ripple in the grass too distant to identify but too deliberate to ignore. The tension among the group is palpable. Each step feels heavier, each breath shallower, as though the unseen presence of something powerful and patient hangs over them. Bixby keeps his voice low, pointing out a creek bed that winds sharply to the left, urging the others to follow. The party, wounded and weary, moves in silence, glancing over their shoulders now, and then as if expecting pursuit, knowing it has not yet been an hour, but feeling the fear and paranoia regardless. As the time approaches and Donovan begins to feel the magic of his spell fading, Bixby, you find an overturned tree, lying horizontal flat on the ground, yet refusing to die, now sporting some vertical growth. This creates a small space where you would feel more comfortable taking a rest.
I think we should keep moving.
And what? Get caught by their cavalry? Out of the frying pan into the fire?
Well, I think we'll end up fighting the cavalry no matter what. I'd rather be further away from any of their friends, and definitely those ballistas. If they have a few horses, they could get them moving.
Look, you're not wrong, but I don't think they will think to move the ballista. Donovan and I definitely need the HP, and Bixby gets all his abilities back.
As you rest there amidst the tall, overgrown grass, catching your breath and binding your wounds, the situation in the bandit camp becomes clearer. Peering through the gaps in the blades, you see the bandits mobilizing. First, a smaller group of 3 mounted riders begin to fan out in a search pattern, the buckles on their leather armor glinting faintly under the summer sun. These are undoubtedly the scouts meant to flush you out. Behind them, a larger band of infantry moves more deliberately, clustered together with shields and weapons at the ready. They're heading in your general direction, though not directly on your trail yet.
So what's the plan, fellas? Stay put, or do we make a break for it? Because I don't know about you, but sitting ducks don't live long in Crete.
The cavalry is the problem. If we move too soon, they'll spot us for sure. We need to let them fan out and split up first. They're searching, not charging, which buys us some time. I say we hold and continue the short rest. It took us over an hour to get here. Even with horses, they need to stop. Check out for tracks, stop and coordinate with each other. They don't know where we are. I say we hold tight here for the time being.
Time to get surrounded, you mean? We wait too long. That infantry's going to box us in. I say we move while we still got room to maneuver. I'm not that hurt I can wrestle with a few cowboys.
All right, let's not panic. I mean, look at us. We just escaped their camp, took down their boss's ego with a charm spell, and we're still standing. Some of us are thriving.
Barely standing, Donnie? We're all half dead, and you're making it sound like we're ready for round 2.
I mean, we could just, split up, give them too many trails to follow.
And who are you splitting with, Joey? If we separate, none of you last more than 5 minutes.
No splitting up. We stick together, stay quiet, and move when the timing is right. We let the cavalry get a little spread apart. Then when we have our hit dice rolled, we break toward the hills.
And when they find us, because let's be real, they will find us if we just make a run for it.
Then we fight, but on our terms. We can still get a little busy in this space while we rest, right, Jeff? Taurus, how about we lay a trap?
Yes, the tension is thick, and the decisions are fraught with risk. As you discuss and weigh your options, the bandits' movements become more apparent. The cavalry fans out further, the gaps between them widening as they search, and the infantry continues to lumber forward. Time is slipping through your fingers, and the choice, whatever it may be, will soon need to be made. What will it be, adventurers?
We short rest, Jeff. No other comments? Okay, can we roll our hit dice?
So the party settles into the tall, overgrown grass of the valley, each member finding a patch where the shadows stretch just enough to offer a semblance of concealment. The summer sun beats down relentlessly, its warmth tempered only slightly by the occasional whisper of a breeze rustling through the blades. The grass is thick here, a natural blanket shielding them from immediate view, but the stillness carries its own weight, a reminder that danger looms not far behind. You've managed to catch a moment, fleeting as it may feel, to bind wounds and catch your breath. It's not a cozy campsite by any means, but for now it's a haven, however fragile. If you want to use this time to roll hit dice and reset abilities, this is your chance. But tread lightly, adventurers, because every sound, every movement could betray your position to the relentless search parties combing the valley. How did you all roll?
I was on 4 HP, guys. I needed this. I rolled a 3 and a 6 on my D6, so including my con mod, that's 11 HP back, taking me to my max of 13.
Yeah, what now?
I rolled my 2 dice and I got a 9 and a 5, so what do I?
I got you. You add your never mind, just give me the character sheet. Okay, you're back up to full 2 Bixby. I'm marking down your action surge and second wind as usable again.
Aristos, I also got 14 total on my die. Now, how much health is that?
For you, it will be 20 HP back. In hindsight, maybe you only needed to roll 1 die. Ah well. Donovan, do you need a hand with your hit die?
Do I look like a bumbling fool, Aristos? I got 15 HP back, taking me up to 15, which is my max.
15 seems really high for a D6 rolling sorcerer, but if you are sure, I guess your con is giving you 4 of that, right? The math checks out, forgive me.
Just don't question me again.
Bixby, what were you on about?
Well, if we have to get got, as Donovan says, let's do it on our terms. The only other idea would be to sneak up the hill and pray they don't catch our trail. Dashing would be a death sentence. They will easily outrun us, hurt us somewhere, and wait for reinforcements.
I agree. Having been on both ends of this before, we need to turn the table while we can get a 4-on-1.
All right, listen up, fellas. We've got the perfect spot here, tall grass, good cover. So why don't we just set up a little ambush? Let them come to us, and bam, we hit them where we can.
I say again, Bixby's right. We take him down quick, maybe even grab one of those horses. Better to fight here than let him catch us halfway up the hill where there's no cover.
Hold on a second. Why would we waste time fighting when we can just outmaneuver them? We're already ahead. We keep it that way. Stealth is the smarter play. Bixby got us this far. He can take us all the way to the lion.
Agreed. We may not be wounded, but we are outnumbered and still partially tapped. And they're likely ready to pounce. That horde is drawing ever closer. Sneaking up the hill keeps us in control. An ambush? That's gambling with what little advantage we have. They don't know where we are.
Advantage? What advantage? They're going to find us sooner or later, and when they do, I'd rather not be climbing rocks with an arrow in my back.
Yeah, better to fight now on our terms while we still have some fight left in us. What's the point of sneaking if they run us down anyway?
Because the point, Taurus, is to avoid fighting entirely. Not every problem gets solved by swinging a sword. Where's the profit in fighting them? I already have their best loot. Wait, Jeff, on the short rest, I want to count my spoils. Maybe we leave studying the gems until later, but I want to count my coins.
As you stuffed your pockets in the tent what feels like only moments ago, you managed to pocket 76 gold, 3 platinum, and 15 silver.
Oh, wow. Not a bad haul. You're welcome, guys. We will be back on the road to fortune soon. I stashed these all safely away, Jeff, including the gems, ready for what's up ahead. Gentlemen, I propose a compromise. Some may call it a deal. We will stealth away, as Aristos and I suggest, but at the very first, I repeat now, the very first, mark my words, sign that they have caught our tracks, we stop and make a stand and plan an ambush if you still think it's the right idea.
What happens if we get up out of the grass and into the scrub bushes? They will see us.
When we are at the edge, Hephaestus and Apollo willing, we decide then. Do we make a dash up to the safety of the forest? Or wait for nightfall to move again? Or perhaps plan that ambush?
I don't know about it. They will find us for sure.
Bixby, I have never once doubted your scouting and survival skills. You may not know much, but I know you know that.
Hey.
I know you can lead us up to safety, and I know, Taurus, you will keep us safe watching for the first sign they have caught our scent.
Whoa, no, not him.
Why not me?
You have big old horns on your head that stand out like, damn, I was trying to think of one of your Texanisms, but I just don't got it in me. You get what I mean?
You know what? You make a good point. I am eager to test my combat against these guys, but we are here on a mission, and that's to fight a much bigger and cooler prey, the Nubian Lion.
The Nemean Lion.
That's what I said.
I'm not even going to mention again how that's not our mission. We are after the rope.
Bixby, can we count on you to lead us safely through this grass up to that mountain pass? I know you got this, buddy.
You know I do. Let's get to it, fellas. Time's a-wasting.
All right, gentlemen, it's time. You're making your stealth rolls to sneak away from the bandits and navigate through this dense grass toward the edge of the forest. Remember, it's a group check, so even if a couple of you trip over your own feet, you might still pull it off as a team. Roll those dice.
All right, here we go. I got an 11. Not great.
Wouldn't count on it, Donnie. Let's see here. Oh, a 9. Yeah, maybe not my finest hour, but I'll blame the grass. It's taller than I am.
15 for me, Jeff. Solid enough. It's almost like I know how to move without broadcasting my position to every enemy in the valley, which is why I should be the one to watch the horsemen and bandits approach.
Ha! Amateurs. Jeff, write it down. I rolled a 19. Clearly the golden touch extends to stealth as well.
Wait, why did you roll a second die, Don?
Well, I rolled lower first and thought I'll say I still rolled better than all of you. But I thought that because it's a group check that I might need a higher result to carry the team again, as we really don't want to be caught here by these low-life bandits.
And where did the reroll come from?
It was my tremendous inspiration prize, Obama. Keep up, G's.
I feel like you should make it known when you're using it. You did this last time, too.
Why? Don't trust me? We're a team.
I just feel like the fans that voted for you deserve to be made aware that you're using it and how, so they get the chance to see how they helped. Also, no, not really.
Fair point, Barack will make it a clear rule going forward that if you're using inspiration or other similar abilities that you need to announce it. I thought it was already implied, but maybe it wasn't clear enough.
And you still have it marked on your sheet, Don, so make sure to rub it out.
I was trying to listen to Jeff, so I didn't miss what he had to say.
All right, not bad overall. The group check succeeds, just barely. Despite George stepping a little too heavily and Joe causing a bit of rustling, you all managed to blend into the grass well enough to avoid drawing immediate attention. The bandits, still searching, don't seem to notice your movements just yet. Now, Bixby, it's your turn to navigate. Survival roll, if you please.
Don't worry, Jeff, I got this. Oh, 17. Told you I've been working on stuff back in Crete. I'm getting better now.
Excellent. Bixby leads the party with confidence, using the subtle bends in the grass and the slight incline of the terrain to guide you toward the forest's edge. It's slow going, but you feel you're making steady progress without leaving an obvious trail.
Jeff, as I've nominated myself to do perception check-ins on the bandits as we move, I'll roll a check for that.
Perfect, Aristos. Roll perception for me.
That's a 14. Not amazing, but not terrible either.
That's enough. As you pause briefly to glance back, you spot the cavalry scouts spreading out further, their horses moving at a deliberate pace through the valley. They seem to be fanning out in a search pattern, but they haven't honed in on your location yet. The two who have peeled wide are of little concern at the moment, but the one who is closest, maybe now concerningly close, as you can see if you peer closely, his figure, his face. He is watching the ground carefully. As if by divine favor, as you peer at him, he stops his horse and after a moment dismounts, disappearing from view.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
He is gone for only a few moments before he reappears, mounting his horse in a smooth, well-rehearsed finessed leap. Once up, he moves something from his pocket. You peer, but it is far too far away and far too small to see it properly.
Damn, I was about to ask.
But just when you peer closer, it catches the sun, glimmering like maybe a coin.
Donovan.
Why did you have to count your coins?
I certainly did not drop a coin, not me, no way.
He ponders for a second. Even so far away, you see his young face contemplating some big decision before he pivots his horse towards the ever-moving horde, pushing through the grass with conviction and shouts a cry.
Oh, Ares, bless my blade, we are about to be back in the thick of it.
Perhaps so, but that will be a conversation for next session. You can take a moment or two now to discuss plans, but they will all be carried out next week.
Oh, darn it, Jeff. I am going to be thinking about it all week.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, of course, this is a big ambush coming up. If we decide to even go that way, a pitched battle with a horde and two bosses is a tough consequence for being too slow to act. In a funnel, maybe we have a chance, but here there is nowhere to funnel their numbers.
I agree. Whatever we do, stealth has to be a crucial element, assuming he has actually caught our tracks.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
I want to fight, y'all know that, but the place for a stand against them all was up on that hill before we even went down to the camp. We all knew it, the fans all knew it, a nice funnel with some high ground. Anyway, let a Minotaur dream, maybe next time, huh?
So what do we do?
I think we have a think about it over the week. Read some ideas in the comments and see what everyone thinks. Somehow I think diplomacy is off the cards this time.
Don't you dare say that. The Tiberius charm is overwhelming potent and always in effect. It's like a paladin's aura, giving me and those beautiful creatures around me a blessing to their charisma, charm, and appeal.
Jeff, is this something you worked on?
I believe he is speaking narratively Aristos. We have worked on a great many things, but an omnipresent, omnipotent, overwhelming charisma-boosting aura is not yet on the drawing board, but I dare say I will get a flurry of tweets at 3 a.m. now.
What can I say? It's when I do my best D&D thinking, away from the family and the aides and staffers, just me and Elon to work on my character.
Does he know much about D&D?
He thinks he does. I mostly just like the company and the energy he does well in what I see of the games he plays on other channels, so I assume he knows his stuff.
What a wild ride, huh? I mean, sneaking through tall grass, bandits hot on our heels, and Taurus dreaming about the perfect battlefield. Can't wait to see how it all unfolds next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next, but let me just say, if you guys don't nominate me for MVP after this one, we're going to have words. I mean, come on, the strategy, the muscle, I'm giving you gold here.
Settle down, Taurus. MVP had some good ideas, true, but I led the party.
Listen, fans, let's keep this simple. The MVP is Donovan Tiberius. Always has been, always will be. Just vote for the obvious choice and save yourselves the trouble.
Well, whatever you decide, we love hearing from you. Drop your MVP nominations in the comments. Let us know your favorite moments, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We're so close to a big milestone, and every single one of you makes this possible.